Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, where we take a look at some of the awesome news and reveals of this week. First up on the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, we have a look at Hasbro Pulse at MCM Comic-Con London, where they showed off quite a few things. First up, we have a look at 3 Transformers figures that were revealed. First up was the Deluxe class, Transformers, Bumblebee, movie / Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. I don't really know. It's the Volkswagen Bug Bumblebee. We have a deluxe one that's coming out, and it is a brand new mold to give some updates to the old Bumblebee Volkswagen Bug that we got in the Studio Series. So this is, I believe, our first revisit to a character in the Studio Series line that isn't an actual new version of it. Well, I don't know, it's a tricky thing, but it does give a lot of collectors the kind of curiosity of, does this mean we could see other Studio Series characters come back that have come out with better tooling and stuff like that. And then next up we have a look at a Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime reissue with the new packaging of the Studio Series design, not the buzzworthy one. And then next up we have a look at the Transformers Rise of the Beast Leader class Apelinq, which will be a really exciting figure. It is a partial retool, but a lot of new updates to it of the Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal. He's got his 2 wrist blades and of course the chain accessory and the MacGuffin of the movie, which is really cool. So those are the 3 Transformers they showed off there. When it comes to Marvel toy news, though, on the subject of MCM, I did not see anything new. They talked about the Sentinel. Oh, they did talk about new things. They talked about the Captain America Bold New World figures. First up was they were all 3 deluxes. First up was the Captain America Sam Wilson. And then we had a look at him with his backpack wings, his accessories, his alternate head, alternate hand. So it's a lot of stuff for a deluxe figure, which is the point. And then we have a look at the new Falcon that's taking over and his green suit, which is really cool. Kind of similar thing to the Falcon Captain America. Has the wings, all the cool accessories, alternate heads. And then lastly, we have a look at a Red Hulk. That is the Harrison Ford Red Hulk from the movie. So this is really cool to see these 3. I think it's an awesome idea to have all 3 of these be deluxes because they are all rather big characters, and it means now we can get those 3 key characters. And then if they did a wave of Bold New Era, we could have a bunch of characters like the Serpent Society characters that are supposedly going to be in it, or the other side heroes and villains and stuff like that. So I think Diamondback is in it and all that stuff. So yeah, so really cool Marvel reveals. And then we move on to Star Wars, and Star Wars was quite a few things were revealed. And they did, of course, everything I'm talking about has got up for pre-order. I have the links in the description down below before we keep going. But in Star Wars, we have a look at 2 Vintage Collection figures, a Lieutenant character from, I believe, Mandalorian or Ahsoka. I don't know the name of the character. I feel bad. And then the Bounty Hunter from Phantom Menace and the Star Wars Legends and all that stuff. I think it's oh god, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but you could see her right here. And then we had 3 Black Series figures revealed and went up for pre-order later on, and that is Phantom Menace Sebulba, Attack of the Clones / Revenge of the Sith Shaak T, and well, I don't think she was in Revenge of the Sith. She was only in the Clone Wars, and then the cartoon and stuff like that, Attack of the Clones and stuff. And then another Jedi Master, Luminara Unduli, from Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones, and of course the Clone Wars animated series. So these are 2 new Jedi, which I'm very excited about. A Pod Racer character and another character from Phantom Menace, which is really cool. But more on the Jedi fact that now we have 2 more Jedi Masters to go with Kadamunde and Kit Fisto and Plo Koon and all the other Jedi Council members, which is really cool. So that was pretty much everything of Star Wars. I believe there were a couple other things they revealed that then later on went up during the 1027 Hasbro Pulse event. But next up we have the G.I. Joe side of stuff, And first up, we're going to go over some items that were already showed at previous conventions like New York Comic Con, but the G.I. Joe Classified Series Trench Viper and Cobra Outpost set was shown off more with, some more, detailed images. And then we got a look at the Heavy Duty, and then 2 digital renders of, I believe it was Blowtorch from G.I. Joe, and a Frag Viper from Cobra. And those were the 2 classified figures that were digital render shows off. And then there were name only with images of 3 new retro figures coming out. First up is retro carded 6-inch series Falcon, which is very interesting. So now you can put them with your retro carded Lady J if you want to. And then we have a look at a retro carded Tal Viper, the pilots and tech guys of Cobra. They're going to do a single carded version of him, so I feel bad to anyone out there who bought a ton of Trouble Bubbles just to have a couple extra of these to have on like control panels and doing work in the background of their Cobra bases. But if you were someone who only bought the amount of flight pods you wanted and Trouble Bubbles you wanted, and you were still kind of hoping for this single release, now they're doing a retro carded single release of this character. And then lastly, they're going to be doing a retro carded Cover Girl, this time with the blonde hair instead of the brunette hair. So that was all the G.I. Joe reveals, and I believe the Heavy Duty, the Trench Viper, went up for pre-order, so the links are in the description down below. And that, I believe, wraps it up. Marvel didn't really have anything. Oh wait, I already said what Marvel had, but so that was Marvel, Star Wars, Transformers, and G.I. Joe. That was shown at MCM Comic Con. They also did show off the Ectotron and talk more about the campaign, but it was pretty much the same images that we already had and the same kind of stuff we already had knowledge on. So that's everything pretty much at MCM Comic Con that was Hasbro oriented. And in more Hasbro toy news, we have a look at the Hasbro Pulse 1027 event that happened. Of course, on 10/27 at their Rhode Island facility. And to sum it up, there wasn't quite too much to talk about, but I'm going to do a quick cap on it. As you can see, the Marvel figures that are shown here are that of the Red Hulk, the Captain America, and the Falcon that we talked about a minute ago at London-con. They did also show a Miss Marvel in her red, black, and blue outfit. That was the also Moon Star in disguise from the Dark Avengers. So that's really cool to go with your Iron Patriot and any other characters that come out to fill up that roster. And then we got a look at some Transformer stuff. This one I'm really excited about. We got the first 2 of the Devastator Combiner. First up is Bonecrusher and I want to say, Scrapper, Bonecrusher and Scrapper. And they told us that these are the first 2 to be coming out. They'll be coming out in April of next year, so the pre-orders are now. The links are in the description down below. And then the other 2 will come out in summertime as the Commander class, and that is, I believe, Long Haul and I feel bad, I can't remember all of them, but those 2 will come in a Commander class, and then the final 2 will come out in fall of next year, around like September of the other 2, which is a Voyager and Deluxe, like these 2. So there'll be a long wait, but the way they're doing packaging now to make it easier for people to get it is that instead of 4 waves a year, they're going to do 3 waves a year with all unique figures, both in Studio Series and Age of the Prime. So when you get 4 Deluxes and 2 Voyagers and 2 Leaders every wave, or 1 Leader that's new every wave, you're going to get new characters every time. There's going to be a lot of package refresh, and it also means that there'll be a longer time that they're on the shelf, so you'll have a chance to get them on shelves. But it also means that for people who buy them all at once, they'll be seeing the same figures on the shelf for about 4 to 5 months, 3 to 4 months, instead of, well, it's 4 months now. It used to be 3 months that you would see the same stuff, because usually that's how it kind of worked a season. They did 4 waves once every season. Now they're doing 3 waves for a season and a bit. It's kind of odd, but I just wanted to cover that real fast so people knew about that, and that you will be able to get your Constructicons over the year, and that they aren't going to do a box set unless they decide to do something like in 2026 or 2027 or 2028. So yeah, I think they're actually going to wait till like 27 or 28 if they do one. So I wouldn't wait around on these if you want them. Then we have a look at the G.I. Joe stuff, and we got one new figure that we already knew about, that is of Nemesis Enforcer, aka Nemesis Immortal. The character went in stock. It wasn't a pre-order, it went in stock, and then it sold out, and so the hopes are maybe more in stock, but I do have the link in the description down below when that happens. It is a Pulse exclusive as of now, because it is a larger figure and it is a unique character. And then when it comes to, that's G.I. Joe, Transformers. Oh, when it comes to Star Wars, we got a deluxe Star Wars figure of Savage Opress. We got a deluxe Savage Opress, which looks really cool if you're a Clone Wars fan. If you want Darth Maul's brother now, you got your chance to get this character. It did sell out on Pulse, but it's available on all other fan channels, being Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toys. But I did have the Pulse link down below if you want to try to get it. If not, you're going to have to go to Big Bad Toys or Entertainment Earth. But I think this character will come back in stock, and it will be easier to get, hopefully. And then there's two vintage collection figures, one from Acolyte. I feel bad I don't remember the character's name. He was just one of the Jedi characters. I know that he played an important role, but I feel bad I watched that show and then I kind of, forgot most of what happened. I feel bad. And then we also got Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi towards the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. What his outfit looked like is pretty much what we got here with the goggles and everything. But yeah, there's just all the offerings we had. Some really cool figures. I'm really excited for the Nemesis Enforcer / Immortal, and I'm hoping we'll get more of that character. And then I'm really excited about Devastator and all the pieces and everything like that, so I'm really excited. And in NECA toy news, we have a look at some more of the Ben Cooper costumed children NECA figures. And this is more horror movie oriented characters instead of, the classic monsters or costumes. So first up, we have a look at, of course, Sam from the Trick or Treat movie. We have a look at the Krampus. We have a look at Nosferatu, which looks really cool. We have a look at the character from Thanksgiving. And then, of course, I feel bad. I think Captain something, I'm pulling up link on it. And then finally, we have a look at Sam's alternate head that you can swap out. But yeah, these figures are available right now at Big Bad Toys, Entertainment Earth, and I think NECA has them. They have sold out at most of the stores, I believe. Some of them still have them in stock. You can click the links down below to save the bookmarks for in case they come back in stock. But these Ben Cooper figures have been getting a lot of popularity. There's more and more characters they've been doing. I'm hoping they'll get a deal with Hasbro to do the Optimus that they had, and maybe a Star Wars and do the Darth Vader, because I'd love to see those. They're already going to be doing DC characters that we've seen. And they've already done quite a few other like horror, Universal monsters kind of characters. So these are really exciting. I just really hope they do Optimus. I think that'd be really cool if they could get a deal with Hasbro to do that. But yeah, these are really cool. They're exciting. If you want to get them just in time for Halloween, you can get them, or some of the older ones that are still in stock at stores. But that's pretty much it. Just thought it would be really cool to cover this. And in Super 7 toy news, we have a look at a new Transformers offering. It is another Transformers reaction figure. This one is one of the deluxe size one. Is that of the Diaclone Colors Devastator, which is really cool looking. I've been hoping that we'd get this version of the character at some point in toy form. I'm kind of hoping now that we're getting that Studio Series Devastator, they'll take the chance to do box sets after they come out with all 6, and they'll do the Shattered Glass colors, they'll do the G2 colors, and then maybe they'll do the Diaclone colors, which is this right here. My only downside with this figure offering is that it's in just to kind of, not to be a generic box. It's not quite like, I was hoping for something more, classic, maybe actual like box art of the original Diaclone ones, something kind of in that design. I know they can't do that because they're in the original toy, they're separated into 6 limbs and then you combine them, but it'd be cool if they did something kind of like that to homage this set. But it's just a really cool set. They've been coming out with a lot of reissues of like Unicron and Grimlock and Devastator, so this is really cool to see this version. I think we've already had the G2 color and the G1 color, so now we have this cool callback to the original mold of the toy when it was back in Diaclone. And in McFarlane toy news, we have 2 new offerings to show off from McFarlane this week. First up is a statue, 1/6 scale statue of the Mortal Kombat 1 game, Sub-Zero, which looks really cool here. He's got, the frozen skull and spine in his hand. He's got the cool ice effects. Definitely one of my favorite characters from Mortal Kombat. I always liked, of course, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I mean, who doesn't? When you think Mortal Kombat, you think those two. And this is a really cool statue. I'm really hoping this means we might get a Scorpion one to go with it. I know I'm not much of a statue guy myself, but I feel like this will be great for people who are gamers who just want something kind of physical to put next to their console. And it's a really cool offering. The link is in the description down below. And then the next item is a in-store item for Target and Walmart, possibly GameStop, and that is of one of their Spider-Man Marvel statues of the symbiote suit Spider-Man, looking really cool here with the webs and everything like that. These statues are really cool. I've thought about picking up the Captain America one whenever I've seen it, but I haven't bought any of these yet. But it is a really cool set of things. I like the idea of McFarlane getting to do these cool Marvel statues in his kind of art style. But yeah, these are the 2 things that we have to show off for McFarlane this week. There was a lot the last couple weeks, so there wasn't really too much new stuff right now, but I'm sure we'll get some new stuff over the week and weekend to talk about next week. And this week in comics, we have a look at 4 comics I'm very excited about this week. First up is Captain America number 14, which looks really exciting. It tells the story of Captain America, Spider-Man, and Thor after one of the events in the Marvel comic universe where they kind of have to go on a journey that will either bring them closer or cause each other to drive each other crazy. And it looks really fun. It sounds like it's going to be a really fun comic issue kind of going forward. There's probably going to be more with them in the Captain America comic where they're kind of going to have like a buddy cop trio kind of arguing and then kind of, doing things together, and it's really exciting sounding. And then next up we have a look at a comic from the Nacelle-verse, which, as you know, Nacelle Toys is a new company, not a new company, but a company that, in my opinion, is really bringing heat when it comes to the Robot Force and Sectoids and what's the other ones, the Great Guru or whatever that giant monster is, and they're getting, biker mice, and then the Cowboys of Moon Mesa. So they're doing a Sectoids number 1, which will tell the story of the Sectoids universe through the kind of narrative they're giving for it, which looks really exciting. I'm excited to read this. And then we have a look at a Boom Studios Power Rangers comic that looks really exciting. And apparently it is a group of stories told by and written with the actual actors of each of the Rangers. So you'll have a story about the Black Ranger, and Walter had some say on it, and going forward the same thing with each of the Rangers that are covered in this comic. The actual Ranger actors got to, have some input on it and write with it, and so it's really exciting to see that. And I'm kind of excited to read. I know that the one who played Kimberly a while back, she did a comic series like that, so this is kind of something where each of the Rangers can kind of work around it and kind of tell stories with the artist and the writers of Boom Studios. And then lastly, we have a look at Wonder Woman comic number 1. It's a one-shot where it's the mini covers of Wonder Woman, where we get to see, art, and I don't know what the story is, but it just talks about how you're going to see really amazing art from different artists. So I'm very excited about that. But that's the comics this week that I thought looked really cool. And in our creative corner, we have a look at a really cool photographer from Brazil, that of Pale Cool with a 1 instead of an L, on Instagram, where they do toy photography that is, in my opinion, phenomenal. It looks incredible, the scenes look incredible, the figures are posed out incredibly, and it's just really awesome stuff. If you're into toy photography, you're into toys and, pop culture and fun, this is definitely a page for you. As you can see here, we have a couple photos that I thought looked really cool. First up is, of course, a Kingdom Hearts, where it's got Winnie the Pooh here talking to our hero. Looks really awesome. They got the really cool 100 Acres of Woods looking kind of background. We got a look at, of course, the iconic Spider-Man imposter photo, which looks really cool here with the 3 different Spider-Mans. And then we've got, of course, this really cool Batman looking over Gotham that I really liked. And just really awesome stuff like this Tom and Jerry one. I really like that too, where they're chasing after each other. The kitchen scene is amazing. These are all, little pieces and stuff. It's not like it's just, a digital Photoshop background. There is some, digital stuff used for different things, but a lot of it is actual physical props, which is really cool. And then we've got a look at a Scorpion, which is funny because we just talked about Sub-Zero, but we have a Scorpion here roasting someone. Looks really cool. And then just a couple other pieces here that I thought were really awesome. But they're only about 5,000 plus followers, which is a lot. I get on Instagram, but I feel like they could get up there. I feel like they could get to 10K if we can get them out there and spread the news about their really awesome toy photography. But yep, that's our creative person this week. Definitely give them a follow. Their link for their page is in the description down below to Instagram. And thank you so much. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you're feeling generous, share it. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.